I wonder why. Like, you'd think the 9/11 one would be just naturally like, yeah, it saves a lot more people, but
I guess if you, I don't know.
I
If
mean,
you don't live in the U.S., why would you care? I guess.
that's a good point. Or maybe it's just like you care more about the people in your life and protecting them.
If you could bring back the 90s, would you rather bring back the 90s style, music, etc., or stick with the current trends?
What kind of question is that?
If I could have chosen one aspect of the 90s, I would have said bring back the 90s TV shows. But it's all of the 90s, so I think I'm gonna stick with the current trends.
Even if it was just TV shows, like, yeah, there were some really good ones, but I think that at least cartoons, because that's my favorite, are progressing. They're getting better. They are.
They are.
There's always duds, but there were duds in the 90s,
Kind
too.
of. There were some really good ones, except that was early thousands.
Yeah, that's too. It wasn't all contained in the 90s. But no, I definitely keep the current trends. Like, the 90s were not that great.
Disney cartoons were amazing in the early thousands. I know I'm slightly off topic here, but oh my god, what shows did I watch? I mean, I would just watch every Saturday, I think. They would have these cartoons all day on Disney. I think they went by Jagex or something.
I don't remember. I remember Cartoon Fridays on Cartoon Network.
Oh, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, I remember that.
Ed and Nettie.
Oh, Chowder was good.
I don't think Chowder was the 90s.
No?
I think that was early 2000s.
Oh. Oh, wait, yes, that was definitely early 2000s.
Or even late 2000s. It was somewhere in the 2000s.
That was definitely thousands. Wait, was Grim Adventures 90s?
Grim Adventures started in the 90s. It started, Evil Con Carne and Grim Adventures. They kind of were paired together, and then it got its own show, and Evil Con Carne on its own didn't do well.
I've never heard of that show.
That was a show about, like, an evil super genius super villain, and his, like, brain was on a bear. The bear still had consciousness and controlled the body, but he, like, would be angry and, like, yelling at his subordinate.
That sounds familiar.
You probably have seen it.
I think I've seen it.
And actually, one of the characters from that ended up just living in the world of Billy and Mandy, just like being their neighbor, which was General Scar.
General Scar, that sounds
Yeah, he just like moved into the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
General Scar, I know that character.
Yeah, that's from Evil Con Carne.
I can't remember him. General Evil?
I thought his name was just General Scar.
General Scar, sorry. My mind blanked.
Yeah.
Oh, and I remember that show.
Mm-hmm.
Because
It wasn't bad, but it really wasn't all that great. Like, Billy and Mandy was better.
yeah, Billy and Mandy was better.
I love that he, like, just moved over to a new show.
Do shows still do that? Like, if I got a show on Cartoon Network, would I be able to, get, I don't know, what shows are big on Cartoon Network now?
Steven Universe,
Would I be able to get Steven to move in next to me? That, probably not, but you get the idea.
that sort of idea?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. So those two were made by the same creator. If you made two different shows on Cartoon Network, you could probably move over a character. Like, the property is still owned by the same company.
I have a feeling you might be able to get some pretty cool crossovers on the same channel.
Let me think. It was a really minor kind of crossover. It wasn't like a whole episode thing, but it was great between Billy and Mandy and Kids Next Door. No, they referenced Kids Next Door, but it was Billy, Mandy, and Ed and Eddie. Where, like, Billy called them for help, and they were like, "What? We're not going to do that for free. Call the Kids Next Door for charity."
Oh, I haven't seen Kids Next Door in a long time.
Kids Next Door was great.
I loved it. Did that
Yeah.
show ever have an ending?
I feel like it might have. It got a lot of like movies and junk.
They had like a giant movie and had something at the moon base or something.
There was a lot of things happening at Moonbase. I feel like it did have an ending. I'm not sure.
Oh, and so we're talking about this type of stuff, and then everyone who was not even born at that time would be like, okay, I'm just gonna click out of this video.
Well, yeah, if you don't know it, it's not going to be very interesting. These were really good shows. It's worthwhile to go back and check them out.
Oh, yes, yes. If you guys have no clue what we're talking about, I guess go back in this video, listen to a few names we've said, and search those shows. They are amazing.
Hey Arnold, too. That one was really good.
Oh,
Hey.
that was a good show.
You know they're making an ending? They're finally making an ending?
They are?
Yeah, like, what's it been, 15 years or something? It's probably more than that.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
So they were going to make an ending movie, but instead they made a completely unrelated movie that had nothing to do with any kind of ending. It was just kind of one-off and not good. And now they're making an actual ending, like talking about what happened to Arnold's parents, and it's gonna be so good. Or maybe it won't.
Oh, if they keep up with the current trends, that's gonna be a lot of feels.
Yes.
Because one thing that I have noticed in these newer and newer cartoons, the feels are getting more and more and more.
Hey, I feel like old cartoons did it too. I think in general new cartoons are just being more, I don't know, effective. Like they're able to break out of that idea that it has to be completely one-off and it has to be very, very, like, nonsensical. Like they're being more serialized and they're having more of an overarching plot, so they're able to hit you in feels.
Oh boy.
But like, no, old cartoons did that too. What is it? Hey Arnold had this whole episode that was about Helga going to therapy because of her obsession with Arnold, but it ended up talking about how she was totally ignored at home, and like her older sister ended up like crumbling under the pressure of being perfect. It was just like this crazy kind of portrait of like somebody who had a really bad home life. It was sad.
I do not remember that episode at all.
There was an episode.
I remember a picture of Helga laying on one of those chairs that they used to represent. But
yeah, like
other than that, I don't remember that.
It was a great episode, and it was really sad. It went into her history, like her dad didn't. I remember this in great detail. There's a part where like her dad is supposed to bring her to preschool, and he's just listening to the sister play music instead. So she walks herself to her first day of preschool in the rain, and gets like mud on her dress, and gets really sad. And Arnold like helps her up, and it's really sweet. Oh, fun fact about that show. So the mom. Helga's mom is constantly making like smoothies. It's supposed to be a stand-in for alcohol for like margaritas.
What?
Yeah, I love it when shows have like a stand-in for alcohol, because then you can go and you're like, I know what you're actually drinking. Because it goes around the house kind of like in a daze and kind of drowsy and making these smoothies all the time. It's supposed to be like margaritas.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
The only episode of Hey Arnold that I remember 2 episodes, kind of. One only because I've seen it over and over and over again. They went to on some field trip, and Helga and Arnold and one other person, I think, were left behind when they left the factory or something.
Ooh. I don't remember that one.
I don't remember anything about it, though.
I remember another sad episode. They had a Christmas episode where, so you know how he lived in a boarding house? There was one person, I think his name was like Mr. Wynn or Dr. Wynn. And so Arnold for Christmas wanted to reunite him with his daughter that he got separated from after the Vietnam War, like lost her as a baby. And she's somewhere in the city and he hasn't been able to find her. So Arnold is like trying to reunite him with his long-lost daughter on Christmas. And he does it. And it's so... He, like, finds a person who, like, their job is to search people, and he, like, there's obviously, like, cartoon shenanigans. But he ends up reuniting them, and it's great. It's so sad. Ah. It was a very feelsy show.
I wish I could remember more of that show. The one show that I really remember, I guess because I was a little kid when I saw it and I was scared of horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this episode about where they told a horror story or something about some lady who did something in the park. Oh wait, I remember. A lady went to the park to meet her lover or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then was never heard from again. So like she was killed on a carriage or something.
What's this from? What is this from?
The Hey Arnold Halloween special, I think.
Oh, I remember this. It's like the it was supposed to be like, I remember this. Something like headless, like her scarf. I remember this.
Yes.
Very easily.
I don't know why, but at the end of the episode, I remember this. Arnold's grandpa was driving the thing, the cart, or buggy, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Carriage. I don't know why, but he was. And then that ghost woman got on the cart. Am I making any sense?
Yes, no, I remember this. Like, yeah, he was running the buggy and she ended up coming on. I think the idea was that she had like a scarf and like he got caught in something and it's supposed to be, oh, she's headless. But it's very, very vague, but I do remember that. That was a cool episode.
Oh,
there was another episode about a ghost too. I can't remember it. They had a few with ghosts.
There were awesome shows back then.
Yep.
Granted,
there's great shows now too.
I also thought the original Digimon was amazing back then.
I like Digimon.
I like Digimon too. I went back and watched the original series again, and dang, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. It's... yeah, I've rewatched it too.
They did not travel a lot, but yet they did. I know that does not make any sense, but...
It does not. Let me think. My favorite season of Digimon was this one where the actual Digidestin turned into Digimon. I think it was like 3 or 4.
One. I never actually finished that.
Oh, it was so good. I loved the ending.
I need to go back and rewatch that one season.
Yes.
But I remember it. There was that. Well, actually, I guess every season they have that cool guy. But they got on trains or something to get to the digital world.
Yeah. This one did have trains, and there was. If you like Gravity Falls, you like Secret Twins. Did you get to the Secret Twin part?
Oh,
This is getting very off topic.
I remember this. I kind of remember this.
This is so off topic for this video, but it's fun.
Well, I don't care.
Listen to Dcat and Celestial rant about vague memories of old cartoons.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no.
It like the twin of the kid the kid that was too cool. He got on the train and got his own seat. That black kid. The clothing he wore.
Yes, he was there's always a protagonist, there's like a tough one, there's a smart one. Yes, he was the like cool guy.
Yes. I don't remember his twin. I mean I remember it, but I don't remember it. And it's like the complete opposite.
I feel like his name was Kunoichi.
I couldn't remember the names. They use Japanese names, and I think I was like, I don't
Koichi,
know.
yeah. Koichi, that was like my first anime crush. He was beautiful.
Okay, which do you remember which season that was?
4.
Digimon Season 4. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, or kind of vaguely remember what we're talking about, it's,
Digimon Season 4.
probably should be looking through this before I throw it up on YouTube, but, I mean, yeah, right here. These guys.
If people haven't seen it, though, we already spoiled the secret twin.
Do we need a, it's so old. You don't think you need to do a tell about throw up a spoiler warning?
Probably not.
But if
yeah,
you
so the
think
twins
about
are.
it's so old that people don't watch it unless they were watching it at that time.
Yeah. So the cool guy was Koji, and the secret twin was Koichi. And I loved Koichi, and
How do
he
you
is
spell his name? Because he didn't.
Koichi.
Koichi.
Yep. They were separated as babies, and
I remember him.
he wanted to go and reconnect with his brother, but he was being shy, and then he fell down the stairs. It was dramatic. I love that series so much.
Oh my god, I need to rewatch that one. I did not remember him at all.
I feel a little worried because I'm like, all Digimon doesn't seem to hold up well when you go and rewatch it, but
I enjoyed the rewatch, but it drove me crazy. Does that make any sense?
yes, it does. Because I have also tried to rewatch the first season of Digimon, and that's about how I felt. Like, oh, this is so fun and nostalgic, but also so cringeworthy and like, ugh.
I completely forgot we were doing either or. I mean,
Yeah,
not either or. Would you rather?
Yes, we got very off topic.
I love these questions that do that, though. I think we have an entire episode just talking about shows from the 90s.
We do.
Or early thousands.
Or just generally shows we used to watch. Because, yeah, this is early 2000s, I think, too.
Okay, if you could bring back the 90s, would you rather... Okay, I would stick with the current trends. Would
Same.
you rather bring... Oh, current trends?
Yeah.
Oh, whoa!
My dog is shocked by this revelation.
I think he heard my meow. I mean, you humans, you just hear me talking in your human tongue, but those dogs, even when I speak human, they hear a meow.
Oh, they can tell?
They can tell. Well, it's 51% for bring back the 90s music, style, and etc. Wait, is that your cat or is that you?
That's a cat. Look, that video of Dcat talking to a cat.
Okay. Would you rather make... Okay, meow once for blue, twice for red. Would you rather make out with Hillary Clinton or make out with Nancy Pelosi? I don't even know who that is.
Nancy Pelosi? I don't really remember either.
Nancy Pelosi. Well, she's into politics.
Well, yes, I know she's a politician kind of person. I don't really know much about her, though.
Congresswoman.
Good for her.
Representing the 12th District of California. Okay. Well, I don't care for either of them. One I don't know about, and the other is...
Can I choose to make out with no one? Like,
yes.
No thank you?
Yes. I'm just gonna say no, because we're just skipping this one, because you don't want to, and I am not informed. Okay.
Like, I don't think you have to be informed to pick who you want to make out with. That's like, it doesn't matter on their politics.
Fine, Nancy. She looks better.
Okay.
I don't know. Apparently 57% would want to make out with Hillary Clinton. That is really weird, in all honesty.
I don't want to make out with any of the people, even if, like, no thank you.
Okay, would you rather be in jail for a year, or live in complete isolation in the mountains for a year? I really don't want to do either.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I've seen those jail shows.
Hold on. Can you pause for a minute so I can go stop?
Pause. And we're back. So,
Hello.
I forgot what I was saying. So, let's just continue. Would you rather be in jail for a year, or live in complete isolations in the mountains for a year? I've seen the TV shows about jail. I kind of don't want to do that. But being in complete isolation for a year...
Well...
I'd go insane.
If you're in jail, you're provided with food, you are at a bit more risk of, like, people hurting you, but there are, like, guards.
Keep your nose down. Or head down.
I feel like I'd pick to live in the woods, though, because I know you're in isolation, but you're independent. It's hard, because you have to actually, like, provide for yourself, but I don't know, there's something very disempowering about being in prison.
I think I would go to jail, just
Really?
because I feel like an entire year without contact with the outside world would drive me insane.
Why do you think you'd have contact with the outside world in jail?
Well, I'd have contact with other people.
True,
prisoners.
but not with the outside world.
Okay.
You have contact with other...
I'd have contact with other humans in jail.
Yeah.
You don't have that in the mountains. I just feel I would go insane.
But you would have animals and nature.
Granted, if I'm in jail, I'd be in a tiny room for
Yep, and all of your movement is restricted. They tell you when you go in your room, when you're out. They tell you what to eat, what to wear, how to move. It's not even about just being told. It's just like, I don't know. That institution there's something not well. It doesn't settle well with me. Even though it'd be hard because you have to actually like be on your own. You don't have contact with other people. You probably have to like find your own food and junk. I'd still probably be in the woods.
I'm just having a hard time now because being confined to a space smaller than my room. Granted, I'm in my room for most of my day right now, but
you have the ability to leave. It's very different.
Yeah, I do have the ability to leave, and I do leave on a regular basis to do quite a lot. But I think I would go insane just being in a cell. So, go insane with a bunch of people, or go insane alone. It's healthier. I'm gonna go with mountains.
Yay!
And people live longer when they're out in nature, so maybe that 1 year I might be in complete isolation, but I'm sure within that 1 year I would figure out how to live on my own.
Exactly. You've learned valuable life skills.
After that year is up, I will probably still live in the mountains, but I would be going down into town and contacting people and stuff, but...
Oh, I wouldn't live in the mountains forever, but I'd just, like, come back with all the things I've learned.
Okay, so 70% said live in complete isolation in the mountains for a year.